how to create compute that's Linux, Windows, or any machine with any other operating system on Oracle Cloud Infrastructure. This is the topic I'm going to cover in today's episode. Welcome to episode 13 of weekly video series with me, Atul Kumar from Team K21 Academy, where we help you in your journey to Oracle Cloud. This episode is sponsored by my Oracle Cloud Infra Architect Certification Training Program 100932, where we teach you on how to go from a complete beginner on Oracle Cloud to becoming an Oracle Certified Cloud Architect in 8 weeks, covering everything from architecture, identity and access management, networking, compute, storage, database, to advanced networking like gateways, IPsec VPN tunnel, fast connect, VCN peering, or high availability and disaster recovery in Oracle Cloud Infrastructure. It's a comprehensive step-by-step program covering 50 plus videos, hands-on lab for each module, 200 plus exam questions. So not only you clear the certification exam 100932 and become an Oracle certified cloud architect, but also become an expert in Oracle Cloud and use this knowledge for getting a much higher paid job for now and in future. So go and register for this free masterclass on what to expect, how to prepare for exam, common mistakes done by those who appear for this exam, and how you can avoid them. Hundreds of my students have successfully cleared this exam and have become Oracle certified infrastructure cloud architect. It's very important to learn OCI, as almost every Oracle product on cloud runs on top of OCI or is going to run on top of OCI in 2019. So go and register for this free masterclass at k21academy.com/1z093202, where 1z0932 is certification exam, and just add 02 at k21academy.com/1z093202. So creating a compute or instance is similar to creating a Linux machine or a Windows operating system or any other machine of a particular operating system. These terms like compute, instance are used interchangeably. In order to create, first you come to the Oracle Cloud Infrastructure or OCI, and then you click on this hamburger menu and go under compute or core infrastructure, under compute, and click on instances. Now, if you are new to Oracle Cloud Infrastructure, or you don't know the basic concepts, or you would like to create or do what I'm doing right now, or you don't have any trial account on Oracle Cloud, you can get a free step-by-step guide by going to k20academy.com/cloud01. And in this guide, you will get a step-by-step activity guide on how to register for Oracle Public Cloud, and then how to create a SSH keys that you will need when you're creating a Linux or Unix type of operating system in order to connect to that machine. So you can get it by going to k20academy.com/cloud01, click on yes, mail me free guide, and you will get a step-by-step instructions on registering. Once you've logged in, you come to this hamburger menu and then click on compute and click on instances. And then first and important thing is you need to select a compartment in which you're creating the compute instance. And compartment is nothing but a logical container in which all the resources like compute, database, networking, all those resources are created. So make sure you select a compartment. By default, there is a root compartment that comes out of the box. Otherwise, you can also create an additional compartment. You're going to apply the policies like who can create these resources inside that compartment, or who can manage these compartments, view them. All these permissions can be applied by identity and access management. So compartment, IAM, and other topics are on topic of on itself, which I might cover in future if I see the demand or comments on this asking about security compartment. So to create a compute or a Linux or Windows machine, click on instance. And when you click on instance, you go to this compute instance create or create instance screen. Now you give name of this instance. I'm going to create name with, for example, K20 Academy Atul. Or this is a Linux machine, so I'll put it Linux 01. Or I'm going to create a Linux machine, but you can create any machine. We'll show you in a minute. You can select a Windows machine as well. Now, First, you need to select availability domain. And availability domain are nothing but the data centers or up to 3 data centers in a region. Now, region is a geographical location in which Oracle's cloud data centers are created. Now, there are 5 regions, and all except one, which is in Toronto, have 3 availability domain. Now, if you see here, currently it's showing from Frankfurt, and this is because if you see on right hand side, I've selected the region as Frankfurt here. Now, you can go and subscribe to other region as well. So you simply go onto the left hand side hamburger menu again, and if you want to subscribe to other regions, and then from there come on administration, click on tenancy details, and you will see here right hand side a region, and in that you see all the 5 regions. You can click on one of the subscribe region, then log back out and log back in. So if I go and select, go back to this compute again here and back onto this creation of compute, so we'll say compute. Now, in the Frankfurt region, there are 3 availability domain, but if I select the Toronto currently as of April 2019 only has 1 availability domain. So I only see 1 availability domain here. So we go back onto the Frankfurt. We'll select Frankfurt. I'll pick up one of the availability domain, which means my compute or my Linux machine or Windows machine, if I'm creating, is going to be created in this availability domain or in this data center within Frankfurt. Then I'm creating a Linux 7.6, but you can click on this button, change image source, and these are various image sources on which a machine that you're creating on Oracle Cloud can be created. So these are platform images, which means out of the box on OCI, these images are available. So you have Ubuntu, you have CentOS, you have Linux 6 and 7, you have Windows 2008, 12, 16. These are available out of the box that Oracle provides. You can also create other images like business applications, partner images. You can create even your own image as long as the hardware is compatible with the Oracle Cloud Infrastructure or the base operating system is supported on Oracle Cloud Infrastructure, you should be able to create your own custom image as well. Now, if you have any questions about these images, leave me a comment and I'll be glad to answer any other question related to these images. So you select a particular Linux or Windows image, then you select instance type, which means you're creating either a virtual machine or Oracle Cloud Infrastructure also provides an option of bare metal, which means there's no virtualization layer. You get a direct hardware on which you are installing that operating system. There's no virtualization layer in, and usually bare metal are good for highly performant applications if you want to run. We are going to select for this example virtual machine, and then you can select shape. Shape is basically how much CPU, how much memory you want to allocate onto this machine. Now, 2 represents here, there are 2 type of machines or 2 generation machines within OCI. One is generation 1, which are built on X5. Then there are generation 2, which are built on X7. So you click on shape. Now, because I'm using a trial account, I have some limitations, which are I only can see these 2 shapes. Otherwise, you can request Oracle to increase that limit, or on the paid account, you will be having more shapes as well. So you can select any one. I'm selecting 2 CPU, or let me select 1 CPU, or leave it to default. Then this is where you configure the boot volume. Boot volume is the volume or the disk space through which your operating system boots or starts. So default size is 46 GB for Linux. And this might be slightly different from Windows, but you get this much by default. You can customize or change this boot size. Earlier in previous releases of OCI, it was not possible, but Oracle introduced this. You can change the custom or you can change the boot size. Then the data actually resides on a block volume, not directly attached to this compute. So the data that moves from this compute onto the storage or block volume where this boot volume resides, that data over the network that moves on the clear text. Data on the block volume actually resides or stored encrypted, but that network over between the compute and boot volume, that is not encrypted. So you can now have an option to encrypt it, and you can encrypt with default Oracle keys, or you can use your own custom keys. and there are ways to create keys. I'm not going to cover it for now, but if you have any questions, leave them in a comment. I'll be glad to answer those questions. Now, because we are creating a Linux machine, the way to connect to Linux machine is not using a username password, but using the SSH keys. And in SSH keys, you have private key and public key, and you generate these SSH keys using utility like Puttygen or other tools. Now, in at the start of this video, I mentioned about a free step-by-step activity guide that you can go and get it from k21academy.com/cloud01. So in this step-by-step guide, one of the chapter is how to create those SSH keys. So make sure you download that guide if you want to create a Linux machine and connect it, and you'll get two SSH keys, one public, one second private. You're going to upload the public key on here. So this is what we are going to select the public key, and private key you will be using when you're connecting from Putty. And again, I'll show you how to connect onto that. So you click on choose files. I've already created this public key in advance. So I selected public key. Make sure the format is always .pub. And then this is where you configure networking. Again, I've covered this networking in detail in past, where we looked at virtual cloud network, subnet, routing gateways or routers, and security list. So that is available on k20academy.com/1z093215. So this is one of the videos that I did. You can check it out at k20academy.com/1z093215, where we looked at what is virtual cloud network, what is subnet, security list, dynamic routing gateway, internet gateway, and other things. So earlier it was mandatory to have for you to have the virtual cloud network or VCN configured before you come and create the compute, but not anymore. So you simply select the compartment in which your networking exists. So you can create a VCN in a different compartment as well. Again, this is more advanced topic. So creating a VCN in one compartment and compute in another compartment, that's totally doable, but that's one of the more advanced topics. So I've selected for now just one compartment for this VCN, and I'll give a VCN name. So I say K21 Academy Atul VCN. Then you can select some advanced options. So first of all, you can select a fault domain, and the fault domain is nothing but how your virtual machines are placed in a hardware. So, and these are used for mainly for the planned outages. Again, I'm not going to cover fault domain on this topic, but I've covered this in past in my blog k20academy.com/OCI11. If you want to know more about, leave a comment about fault domain, and I'll be glad to answer any question related to fault domain. So you can either choose a fault domain of your choice or leave it to default as well. And Oracle will automatically place this virtual machine on the specific fault domain. Then you can create or select post configuration script, which are also cloud in script. So you want some scripts to be run after this machine is being created, then you can include these scripts here. Then for networking point of view, you by default, any machine that you create on public on private subnet, you always get a private IP. But for public subnet, you also get a public IP. So, and if you want to test the machine from and want to connect from internet, that machine should have a public IP. So we have selected the public IP and creating this machine in a public subnet. Then if you want to also check here on image shape, what kind of an image for with respect to this Linux operating system that we are creating. So I'll make sure that I use the public IP because I'm going to access this machine over the internet once we've created this. You can also assign a host name optionally, and you can configure that host name in your DNS or Oracle provided DNS. So once this is done, click on create, and this will start creating your compute. So if you see here, it will show you status as provisioning. It's being created in availability domain Frankfurt AD1. The fault domain it has picked up is fault domain 1. It's in region Frankfurt 1. The shape is virtual machine. It says standard 2, which means X7 with 1 CPU. It's still creating the virtual cloud network, and so you'll see this VCN in a minute. So each object in Oracle Cloud Infrastructure is represented by Oracle Cloud ID or OCID. So this is what you're seeing, that OCID here is created in compartment, root compartment, and launch mode is native, which means it's running natively on OCI. Now I got my public IP 130.16.61.26.13. So I'm going to connect this machine over the public IP. Now make sure that you get a public subnet. This is a public IP. You will get it when you get a public subnet, or you have a virtual cloud, virtual network interface card, or virtual or VNIC. Again, VNIC is a advanced networking which might cover in future. Now, in order for us to be able to connect to this machine on port number 22 SSH, you should have a security list on this machine. Again, security list, I've covered it in 100.932.15. So if you want to know more about security list, which is nothing but a firewall, um, I've covered, as I said, on the previous video, which is 100.932.15. So this machine is created inside a virtual cloud network, and inside that virtual cloud network, there is a subnet. So within that subnet, so this was the subnet that this machine is created, and the security list on that subnet is default security list. So if I go and check a default security list to see if port 22 is open or not, so I'm going to look at ingress rule, and ingress rule has one of the rule which is port 22, which means it's open, and that means I'll be able to connect on this port number 22 because port number 22 is open across firewall. So I'll go back onto the compute, onto the instances, and this is my instance now. It's up and running, which means I should be able to connect to this on this IP. So if you notice on the PuTTY, I've used this IP, and then on the connections point of view or on SSH point of view, here I have authentication, and in authentication I need to use the private IP assigned with that public IP. So I'll select this public IP here. So this is the private IP that I've selected or created when I was selecting the public and private key. So I'll click on, once this is done, go back and save this setting and click on open, and I say it's saying server's host key is not cached. Basically this is first time I'm caching this keys. We'll say yes, and I'll get an option to log in as, I'm going to log in as a user OPC, which stands for Oracle Public Cloud. You will always use OPC user. And once it's OPC, I'm straight in using SSH keys. Now, if you want to go to the root access, you can go sudo su minus, and I'm straight onto the root user. I can do any other activity like installing any other services on top of that. Now, in future, I'm going to create or do a auto scaling, which means automatically creating another compute node when the load increases on this compute. And for that, I'm going to stress it by using a utility stress. So that's what I will show you here. Yum install and stress. So you can install any packages, operating system packages, as long as the machine can be or machine is able to talk to the internet using Yum repository to download. That's one option of connecting onto the Linux machine. Another option is to connect through service gateway to and connect using Yum repository. But again, all these advanced networking topics, I'll cover it in future episodes. So main was just to show you that you can install any packages. You have full access on this compute now. So this is how you create the compute and connect to the Linux machine. Well, that was on how to create a Windows or Linux operating system on Oracle Cloud, and be specific, Oracle Cloud Infrastructure or OCI. Now, as I always say, you learn better when you perform. So here is task for you for today. First is, if you don't have a Oracle trial account yet, then go and register using my free step-by-step activity guide by going to this k21academy.com/cloud01. So you enter your name and email address, and you will get a guide in your inbox absolutely free. And that will have you to follow how to register for Oracle Cloud, and also then how to generate SSH keys step by step. You will generate two keys, public key and private key. Public key you will upload as covered in this video, and private key you will use when connecting to this compute once created. So once you have a cloud account, once you have SSH keys, then create a Linux or Windows machine. If you want a Linux machine, you need to have those SSH keys. For Windows machine, you can just select the Windows image as I covered in this video. And the third task is connect to this machine that you've created using these steps here. If you created Linux machine, then you use PuTTY and use the private SSH keys. If you've created a Windows machine, then you use remote desktop or RDP. So make sure you can connect to these machines as well. Any problem, any doubts, leave a comment and I or someone from my team will reply or help you in building these machines. Just to remind you, this episode is sponsored by my Oracle Cloud Infra Architect Certification Training Program 100932, where we teach you on how to go from a complete beginner on Oracle Cloud to becoming an Oracle certified cloud architect in 8 weeks, covering everything from architecture, identity and access management, networking, compute, storage, database, to advanced networking like gateways, IPsec VPN tunnel, fast connect, VCN peering, or high availability and disaster recovery in Oracle Cloud Infrastructure. It's a comprehensive step-by-step program covering 50 plus videos, hands-on lab for each module, 200 plus exam questions. So not only you clear the certification exam 100932 and become an Oracle certified cloud architect, but also become an expert in Oracle Cloud and use this knowledge for getting a much higher paid job for now and in future. So go and register for this free masterclass on what to expect, how to prepare for exam, common mistakes done by those who appear for this exam, and how you can avoid them. Hundreds of my students have successfully cleared this exam and have become Oracle certified infrastructure cloud architect. It's very important to learn OCI as almost every Oracle product on cloud runs on top of OCI or is going to run on top of OCI in 2019. So go and register for this free masterclass at k21academy.com/1z093202, where 1z0932 is certification exam, and just add k21academy.com/1z093202. And before you go, don't forget to share this video with your colleagues and be sure to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel or blog notifications at k21academy.com/subscribe. I, Atul Kumar from Team K21 Academy will see you next Tuesday.